here we will see the addition of nucleophile to a electrophile, but this reactant contains a chiral carbon alpha to the carbonyl group, and the products formed are one major and one minor, in which case OH group is above the plane and in the other one the OH group is below the plane. We need to predict which one would be the major one and minor one. It's a simple addition of nucleophile to a electrophilic center and generate the new functional groups and predict their orientation in space. So this is our reactant. This is our reactant. If you view from the right side, you would first look at this carbon, then this carbon. This carbon is taken as the front carbon, and this carbon is taken as the rear carbon. Rear carbon now contains three substituents. One is phenyl, the other one is methyl, and the other one is hydrogen. So if you look at all the three substituents on the rear carbon, phenyl is taken as a large substituent, methyl is taken as the medium substituent, and the hydrogen, which is below the plane here, is taken as a small substituent. Now we would convert this acyclic form of the carbonyl compound to the Newman projection like this. And in this case, you can see a open circle and a one dot here. This dot here is the front carbon, and this open circle is taken as the rear carbon. To the rear carbon, we have three substituents, methyl. So look at this bond. Look at these bonds. These bonds. Look at these points. These are coming from the rear carbon. They are not going here. They are coming from the rear carbon. The carbon which is at the back side when you view the acyclic compound from the right side. So we will write the three substituents of the carbon: phenyl, which is a large substituent, and methyl and hydrogen like this, so that approximately we can have 120 degrees angle between the three substituents. And how do we write the front carbon? The front carbon or the carbonyl plane is written perpendicular to the larger substituent. So look at, this is our larger substituent, and the carbonyl plane is written perpendicular to the larger substituent. And in this case, you can write the larger substituent the carbonyl plane perpendicular to the larger substituent. You can write like this, or you can make the carbonyl group down and make this hydrogen up. Then also it will be perpendicular to the larger substituent. Now, if you imagine if you are written like this, then how do we arrange our the methyl and hydrogen and the rear carbon is? This methyl should be written here and hydrogen must be written here, so that the smaller substituent is here, so that the incoming nucleophile would approach from the side of the smaller substituent, and also it would have approximately 107 degrees between the incoming nucleophile and the carbonyl group. Now look at this. This is the incoming nucleophile coming towards the carbonyl carbon, and look at this bond, and look at this approach, and this makes approximately 107 degrees. So that's how we should arrange the substituents on the rear carbon. Now it approaches here, and as it is approaching from the side of this hydrogen, not this hydrogen is present on the rear carbon. The nucleophile should approach from the smallest group on the rear carbon. So it would approach like this from the left hand side. So these two substituents would move little towards right like this. So OH will come little towards pH, and this H also will come little towards pH, and ethyl would come and gets its position here. Ethyl would come and gets its position here, and this now we would convert into the acyclic form. In this case, look at the products. Here we have pH and ethyl, which are on the plane. So from this Newman projection, we should take the two substituents which are present, one on rear carbon, one on front carbon, anti to each other. This ethyl and phenyl, they are now anti to each other and are plane. If you select these two as on the plane, phenyl and ethyl are on plane. Now we selected this phenyl and ethyl on the plane. Phenyl and ethyl on the plane. When you select these two groups on the plane, then these two groups must be above or below. Then these two must be above or below. So that's how we will start writing this into the other form. So we just selected this phenyl and ethyl group on the plane, phenyl and ethyl group on the plane, and the substituent, the methyl substituent, which is on the methyl substituent which is on the rare carbon. This is the methyl substituent which is on the rare carbon. Methyl substituent which is on the rare carbon is present above the plane in the given reactant. Is present above the plane in the reactant. So this methyl is above the plane, but this methyl is attached to the rare carbon. Automatically, this OH also will be above the plane. OH also will be above the plane. So methyl and OH are above the plane. Methyl and OH are above the plane automatically, and the hydrogen here, which is already below the plane, and the hydrogen here also should be below. So these two, as these two will go above the plane, and these two will become below the plane. So this hydrogen is on the rare carbon, this hydrogen is on the front carbon, will be written below the plane. That's how it is written here. So look at this hydrogen which is below the plane, and the hydrogen here also is below the plane. So this would become the major product, and this will become the minor product. Now we'll go to next example. In this example also, we will see a carbonyl compound having alpha chiral center, and this is the sodium borohydride is a reagent which gives H minus anion, or it's a source of hydride anion, a source of hydride anion. That H minus would come and approach this carbonyl carbon and makes this carbonyl group into CO2 OH group. And how do we start writing the Newman projection for this approach is, now look at this, this is the chiral carbon. This chiral carbon here is written as a open circle, and the largest substituent, this is the tertiary butyl group, is the largest substituent. So the tertiary butyl group and this carbonyl plane are written perpendicular to each other. This is the carbonyl plane, CO and Me carbonyl plane, and tertiary butyl group are written perpendicular to each other. Then we have two substituents on the rare carbon. One is ethyl, another is hydrogen. Now hydrogen is written here and ethyl is written. Why is hydrogen written here is the incoming nucleophile should approach from the side of the hydrogen and also makes 180 degree and also makes 107 degrees with the carbonyl group. Now you see it could be, this is the incoming nucleophile's approach. Now you see approximately this would make the 107 degrees. If you write the hydrogen here and ethyl here, then hydride should approach from here, but then it will not make 107 degrees approximately. That's how we should decide the positions of hydrogen and ethyl group which are on rare carbon, looking at the position of the carbonyl group which is on the front carbon. Now if you write the front carbon's carbonyl group down and its other substituents methyl up, then you should write the hydrogen here and ethyl here. But if you write the carbonyl group above and methyl down, then you should interchange the positions of the substituents on the rare carbon. Then you should write ethyl here, then hydrogen here. Now the incoming nucleophile hydride is coming from the side of the smallest group on the rare carbon and would approach the carbonyl carbon. Then the hydride would come here, then it would end up making a position here, and these two groups methyl and this say double bond O, after this hydride comes here will become OH, would approach little towards tertiary butyl. Now see this methyl and this OH have approached little towards tertiary butyl, and as hydride is coming from this, it would end up making the position here. Then look at this product, then look at this product, then look at this product. In this product, the tertiary butyl group and the rare carbon and methyl and the front carbon. The tertiary butyl group and the rare carbon and methyl and the front carbon are written on the plane and are anti to each other and are on the plane. Now we should rotate the one of the carbon so that we should make the tertiary butyl group on rare carbon and methyl and front carbon to become anti to each other. In this case, see tertiary butyl group on the rare carbon and methyl and the front carbon, they are not anti to each other. Now we have to slightly rotate one of the carbon. Either you can rotate the front carbon or you can rotate the back carbon or the rear carbon, so as to make this tertiary butyl group and methyl, they are anti to each other. When you rotate the same compound and bring to this position, then you will have tertiary butyl group on the rear carbon, methyl on the front carbon are anti to each other. And as these are anti to each other, then you can write these two in one plane or above the plane or below the plane, and these two can be above the plane or below the plane. Now look at the starting point. Ethyl is above the plane. Ethyl is above the plane. So the hydrogen which is present on the front carbon also must be above the plane. Ethyl which is on the rear carbon is above the plane, and hydrogen which is on the front carbon must be above the plane. So ethyl on the rear carbon is above the plane, and you can see the hydrogen which is here above the plane are written above the plane, and the hydrogen which is on the rear carbon below, and the OH also must be below. The hydrogen is below here, the OH is below here. Look at this H and this OH must be below the plane, and this ethyl and this hydrogen must be above the plane. By looking at the position of the ethyl, we can decide where to write the position of the hydrogen. As ethyl is above the plane, this hydrogen which is present on the front carbon must be above the plane. That's how we would decide the relative spatial orientation of the substituents. In the next example, we have a chiral reactant. In this case also we have alpha chiral center, but how different this alpha chiral center is? This alpha chiral center now contains a heteroatom, or electronegative atom. This heteroatom is now the nitrogen. Whenever the heteroatom is present in the chiral carbon, that hetero substituent bearing the heteroatom must be taken as the larger substituent, larger substituent. So this is the if you look from this side, right side, then this carbon will be the rear carbon, this carbon will be front carbon. Now rear carbon is substituted as a open circle, and the substituent which bears the heteroatom is N dibenzyl group. N dibenzyl is written like this, and the other two substitutes on the front carbon, on the rear carbon are written hydrogen, and the whole group is here written as R. Now this the substituent which bears the heteroatom will become the largest substituent. This largest substituent and the carbonyl plane are now perpendicular to each other, and this as carbonyl carbon as carbonyl group is below, and we should write the hydrogen here and R down on the rear carbon, so as to make the incoming nucleophile and the carbonyl carbon approximately makes 107 degrees. When nucleophile comes here, and these two will move little towards the larger substituents, so these two have moved little towards the larger substituent, and nucleophile takes its position. Look at the product. In the product, this R group and nucleophile are on plane. There is R group, this is the R group, and nucleophile are on plane and are anti to each other and are on the plane. So here they are not anti to each other. So we need to rotate so as to make one of the carbon, so as to make this nucleophile, and R group on the plane. So nucleophile and R group on the plane. So fix the positions of the front carbon. Just rotate the back carbon so as to bring this R here, this N, the N2 will go there, and this H will come here. That's how it is written here. So we made this nucleophile on the front carbon and the R group on the rear carbon, and the nucleophile on the front carbon anti to each other and are on the plane. And when you make these two anti to each other and are on the plane, then these two substituents must be present above or below, and these two must be present above or below. When you look at here, in this case, your R group is on the plane, and dibenzyl amine group is below the plane. As NBN2 is below the plane, this hydrogen must also be below the plane. As NBN is below the plane, this hydrogen also is below the plane. But this hydrogen is present on the front carbon. This hydrogen is present on the front carbon. So NBN2 is below the plane, and hydrogen here must be present below the plane. You can easily see hydrogen present here is written below the plane, because OH is written above the plane. Automatically this hydrogen must be below the plane. Look at these two. These two are now below the plane. Automatically these two are above the plane. This hydrogen, which is on the rare carbon, above the plane. This OH on the front carbon is also above the plane. And how different this example than the previous two is, when you have a substituent which contains heteroatom, a substituent which contains heteroatom must be taken as a larger substituent. The chiral carbon bearing heteroatom as one of the substituent should be taken as a larger substituent. Now in the next example, we have again a carbonyl compound, a reactant having chiral center and also a heteroatom. This chiral center contains heteroatom as one of the substituent. And in this case, we should remember that this is in presence of a dicationic species. Dicationic species would make this, would chelates this chiral, the heteroatom and the carbonyl carbon. So that now we will go to a chelation controlled model, so that we need to arrange the hetero substituent on the chiral carbon and the carbonyl carbon on the front carbon are on the same plane. Look at here. Now we should take this rare carbon as the open circle. We should take it as a open circle and look at the larger substituent. Larger substituent is, I told you, the larger substituent must be the one which contains heteroatom, SR. So this is the SR, and the remaining two substituents on the rare carbon are hydrogen and ethyl. And how do we know? In all earlier cases, we made the carbonyl plane which is perpendicular to the larger substituent. Now when we have a chelating metal species, chelating metal species which can be zinc 2 plus, copper 2 plus, and titanium 4 plus, selenium 3 plus, and magnesium 2 plus, then we should not arrange the carbonyl plane perpendicular to the largest substituent. Then how do we arrange the carbonyl plane with respect to the largest substituent? We should bring them onto the plane. This largest substituent and the rare carbon and the carbonyl group on the front carbon are present parallel to each other. Now in this case, they are present parallel to each other. In the previous examples, we arranged the carbonyl plane and the larger substituent perpendicular to each other. In this case, we are arranging the larger substituent on the rare carbon and the carbonyl group on the front carbon. They are parallel to each other, or they are in plane. They are not perpendicular. They are not in perpendicular planes. They are now the same plane, so that this metal species can easily coordinate to both the ligands. Now, in this case, the incoming nucleophile, if you write like this, the incoming nucleophile would approach from this side of the smaller atom, this hydrogen, from the side of the smaller atom and the rare carbon. This is the hydrogen, smaller and the rare carbon. Now the incoming nucleophile would approach from the side of the hydrogen here, and this ethyl would move on to the this R group, which is on the front carbon, would move onto the plane of ethyl, and the incoming nucleophile would be present on the plane of the hydrogen. So in the next example, we will see here. So in this case, this is the chiral carbon which bears the heteroatom substituent and also a chelating metal species. Now, how do we write the main projection for this is find the rare carbon and the front carbon. Now, we have on the rare carbon three substituents. The one is OR, the other is ethyl, the other is hydrogen. Now, this is the rare carbon. Then this O alkoxy group is done like this, and hydrogen is written like this, and ethyl. Now, how do we arrange the carbonyl group? In case of when we have the chelating metal ions, this carbonyl group must be in plane or parallel to the heteroatom. The heteroatom is oxygen, so this carbonyl will takes the plane of the heteroatom. So they are now parallel. They are now parallel. Now the incoming nucleophile here is FJ in presence of a nucleophile. Nucleophile comes from the side of this hydrogen, from the side of this hydrogen. So incoming, so this is coming from the side of the hydrogen. So this and this will move towards this ethyl. So O, this O double bond O will become single bond O minus. Then again it will get protonated. This will become O minus. Then it will become OH, and this R is this. See, the nucleophile is coming from the side of the hydrogen. Then these two will little move towards the ethyl group. These two have little move towards the ethyl group. And when you convert the ethyl, now look at the product. How is the product written from here? In the product, we have ethyl and R group, ethyl and R dash, which are anti to each other. So ethyl on the back carbon. So ethyl on the back carbon, and R on the front carbon are written anti to each other. Now we should rotate so as to make this R and ethyl anti to each other. When you rotate R and R so as to make here, then this nucleophile will take the position of this oxygen atom. This O will take the position of this R. You just simply rotate 120 degrees, then this R will move here. Then this nucleophile and OR, this OR on the back carbon are on the same plane. Then this O minus and H are on the same plane. O minus and H are on the same plane. H is below the plane. OH also is below the plane. Look at this. If you just bring this nucleophile here, then compare these two, where we should write these two. Then O will come here. Then compare this O and this H. O and H. H is below the plane. OH also is below the plane. If you do little practice, you can easily. These are the examples where you can practice how to. Now, in this case, which I'll just tell you what kind of a Newman projection you should write. In this case, we have a alpha chiral center, and this is a source of hydride. And now we have OMe group. A alpha chiral center bears a hetero atom as the substituent. Then this is not a chelating sodium plus is not chelating metal species. Then this is taken as the larger substituent. This is taken as the larger substituent. Then this larger substituent and this cardinal plane are now written perpendicular to each other. Are written now perpendicular to each other. Then predict the products. In this case, we have the alpha chiral center and a heteroatom. In this case also we have Mg2 plus. This Mg2 plus is a chelating metal ion. Now, how do we write our Newman projection? In Newman projection, this larger substituent OMe and the cardinal plane are now written parallel to each other. In this case, the OMe group and CO group are parallel to each other. In this case, they are perpendicular to each other because there is no chelating metal ion. In this case, they are written parallel to each other because there is a chelating ion. Then you can easily predict the major ion. That's all is about the addition of nucleophile and a carbonyl compound having alpha chiral center.